Yeah, mate. There are blokes out there who snag the top shelf Sheilas effortlessly. On the flip side, you've got many fellas who can't catch a break, and that's why they're sour. They'll be sprouting things like screw all girls and reckon they ain't worth the time, preferring to chuck it in altogether than admit they need a bit of improvement. Truth is, having girls around can make life more ripper. It's easy to focus on yourself, but you've gotta be fair dinkum with yourself. Don't start pointing the finger at girls for your own stuff-ups. Instead, pick up a few pointers from vids like this one and get fair dinkum better in the real world. We'll yak about 3 things that'll make you irresistible to Sheilas. High energy. Sheilas are drawn to blokes with energy and confidence. They're after a bloke who's oozing with confidence and full of beans. Now, that doesn't mean carrying on like a gala or acting like a drongo. Think of the alpha gorilla getting all the females. Gorillas live in mobs of both blokes and Sheilas, but the top dog silverback is the only one with full access to the ladies. Why? Because he's a powerful leader bursting with energy and strength. There are alphas among us humans too, and they always have more energy than the beta blokes. This is a fair dinkum important part of thriving as a bloke, and not many people yak about it. You've got a fair bit of energy in you already, but the modern world sucks it out in sneaky ways. Many of the pills the doc hands out can zap your energy. Watching a bit too much adult content online is also a massive drain. Instead of falling for these modern traps, you can jack up your energy for free by pumping iron, catching some rays, and getting a decent kip. Competition is bonza too, as it boosts your testosterone. In the modern day, you've got people shaming competitive blokes, trying to dish out participation trophies. Keep an eye out for things that give you energy and things that nick it away. There are plenty more dodgy traps that'll drain your energy, but we'll chew the fat about that in another vid. Make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Charisma. Charisma is what makes you come across as likable and powerful. It's a ripper combo that drives Sheilas bonkers and gets them fixated. Charisma might seem like some mysterious thing, something some blokes are born with and others aren't. But no worries, you don't need to win the genetic charisma lottery to become a bloke with a fair dinkum magnetic vibe. We've already had a chinwag about having high energy, which is fair dinkum important for having charisma. To be charismatic, you've gotta be able to listen more than you talk. This makes you more mysterious and makes the other person feel like a top Sheila. Ask questions, keep an eye on the person you're yarning with, throw in a grin or a frown, and give a nod. Respond not just verbally, but non-verbally too. Locking eyes with Sheilas when you're having a yarn allows you to get your message across and project a bit of presence, dominance, and power. I'm not saying you've gotta stare like a drover's dog at the person in front of you, but make sure to have a gander when you're having a chinwag. You can look away every now and then, but never look down when you're having your say. When you decide to open your trap, make sure you don't rabbit on. We're all different, some blokes are cocky, and some are a bit more humble. Some are a bit of both. No matter what sort of bloke you are, don't waste your words. If you're cocky, deliver what you want to say with confidence, like a ripper punchline. If you're a bit more humble, it doesn't mean you've got to waste time on small talk and rabbit on about nothing. Choose your words, mate. Regardless of the type of bloke you are, Sheilas love a bit of mystery, and the #1 way to wreck that is by spilling too much info. To be charismatic, be aware of your value. If you're always doubting yourself and your abilities, it'll be a tough gig to be charismatic. You should be aware of your potential to pull off top-notch stuff and carry yourself that way. Strut your stuff like you could snag any Sheila. Lastly, don't try to please everyone. Trying to be everyone's best mate makes you as boring as a snag without sauce. You become bland, tasteless, and you lose your charm. Now, this might sound a bit out there, but not being afraid to cop a bit of flack or offend someone can be attractive. Both blokes and Sheilas will give you the nod for that. Smell good, dress good. Alright, cobber, first things first, we're taught not to judge a book by its cover, but fair dinkum, first impressions matter, especially for Sheilas. If you pong and look like a drongo, you won't be a catch for anyone. Step 1 for smelling good is not smelling bad. Make sure you're on top of your hygiene game, have a shower every day, and use some natural soap. Sort out your mouth hygiene too. Not just a quick brush of the chompers, chuck in a scrape of the tongue with a tongue scraper. If you've been off the tucker for a bit, it might be a good idea to chew some gum. You don't want to knock people out with a bad breath, mate. No matter what you're wearing, the first thing Sheilas will pick up on is your grooming. That's your hair, facial hair, body odor, and overall cleanliness. Keep the locks in check with a regular trim or just shave the noggin if you're going bald. If you're rocking a beard, find a style that suits you. Only after you've got these things sorted should you start thinking about what cologne you fancy to smell good. Now, when it comes to dressing good, always take your rig into account. Two blokes can don the same clobber, but it might look drab on one and ace on the other. Everyone's got their own style, you've got to find one that suits you. For most blokes, it might feel like a bit of a waste of time or a bit of a drag, but it's worth it to know how to dress casual, classy, and sporty. This isn't just important for snagging Sheilas, but for being on top of your game in different parts of life. If you rock up to a business chinwag looking like a dag, people won't take you seriously. You might not be rapt about it, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, take a bit of time to suss out your style and give a few things a whirl. By the way, if you want a level,